Affiant Henry Van Ness, it being of sound mind over the age of 21 and being familiar with the facts, does hereby relate the following facts. On June 19, 2014, Affiant attended as a visitor the board meeting of the Estancia Valley Solid Waste Authority at the Estancia office. Approximately 15 minutes into the meeting, Mr. Ellis, the authority manager, stated that the board, before the board, that a records request had been submitted to the authority and that 3 individuals, Brent Myrick, Art Ducharme, and Affiant, had spent approximately 2.5 hours inspecting the financial records of the Estancia Valley Solid Waste Authority. Board member Larry Irvin asked if there shouldn't be oversight in the form of someone from the authority present during the inspection. He went on to state that the security of the documents was important and that we did not want any of the documents to end up missing. At that point, Affiant interjected that the following statement: there are documents missing, or at least unaccounted for. Affiant's comments was loud enough so that all in the room could hear. There suddenly was total silence in the room for about 4 or 5 seconds when board chairman Bill Williams stated that the next agenda item is. At no time did any member of the board ask about the missing documents. The previous Friday, June 12th, Brent Myrick, Art Ducharme, a board member, and Affiant had inspected the financial records of the authority. Just prior to concluding the inspection for the day, Affiant told Mr. Ellis that there were documents missing, specifically the disbursement documents for the month of March 2012. Upon notifying Mr. Ellis of the missing documents, Mr. Ellis did not even indicate an interest as to what happened to the documents. He did, however, glare at me for about 3 or 4 seconds. Further saith Affiant Doc.
Thank you. I have verified that, well, Mr. Ellis has verified that the disbursement documents for March 2012 are missing. Now, Torrance County has 3 members representing it on the board. And to the best of my knowledge, none of those members have reported this particular problem. The minutes of the board for the Solid Waste Authority does not indicate my interruption and my mentioning the fact that there are documents missing. I think you ought to reconsider whether or not you want to keep those 3 members on that board. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to, ma'am?
Same issue. I got my bill for the Solid Waste Authority, and it was quite a jolt. I mean, that was a major increase for me, and I just wonder, as I loaded my trash, my stinky old trash, to drag it up here and I'll drop it off on my way home, I'm like, this is a big jump. I'm still loading my stinky old trash, and I am paying it, but I do wonder, and the board, our commission will be able to get that information, is, are you really, with that big a jump, which, if it impacts me, I mean, I'm not affluent, but I am not destitute either, so I can pay bills, and it made an impact on my budget. Are you going to get more money out of this, or is there enough people that are going to refuse to pay that increase that you're not going to come out overall better? So that's my comment, and I would hope that the commission will, really pay attention to that and see, are you getting more money in or not? So, Eric, that's my comment. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Sean?
Art Ducharme, Torrance County. I noticed that on the agenda today there'll be financial assistance requests from Vaughn and Encino. And I know this was brought up at the last commission meeting, and there seemed to be a predilection on the part of Commissioners Tapia and Candelaria to provide significant funding for these areas. Now, I, as a citizen of Torrance County, have no problem with supporting people in trouble in our county. I know the money to Vaughn is supposed to support their water system connection to Vaughn from Duran. And but what I would like to recommend is that we be fair in the distribution of our budget. Duran is on the internet, is called a census designated place in New Mexico. It has a population at the last census of 35. Many of us in our county along the 41 highway, especially in McIntosh, have water problems. Some of my wells only have 2 more feet before I have to re-drill. In McIntosh itself, it's also a census designated place, but it has 1,484 people in it at the last census. I think we must be careful. I know under Mr. Candelaria's previous term, there was a firehouse built there. I think we have to look at the anti-donation aspects of some of this now with the new laws. When people are unincorporated, it's almost like giving money to private families. And I think that we should consider the problems. A lot of people in McIntosh have dried wells, are carrying in their water, and it's a large number of people, but I hear no discussion of support for them. I think we should be fair in the budget distribution. We want to help as many people as we can, and we don't want the image of supporting our friends or relatives or have any aspect of cronyism in our budget. So that's what I caution the commission to consider, and to try to be fair to the rest of the people in our county in this distribution of the limited budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like for public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Ann Runka, Torrance County. I too got my solid waste bill, and I switched to a private hauler for approximately the same amount of money, either a few pennies more or a few pennies less, depending on how you pay. We'll pick it up right at my gate, but I still have to pay over $80 a year to the Estancia Valley Solid Waste Authority if I want to take a random truckload to the dump. Might I point out that for $4 I can, on my way to town, as I do at least a couple times a month, pass the dump into Harris, and for $4 a load I can unload my trash. I would probably have 2 or 3 extra loads per year, maybe as much as $12, but not 80. And I think the $80 for basically no service and an occasional random truckload to the dump is just totally outrageous.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else? Seeing none, we will move to